Shalom and welcome to this week's Hebrew class, and today's lesson will cover Yehochanan, John 15 verses 23 to 27. So, first we like to present to you the Nikud valve markings and useful resources, just for anyone who may join who's relatively new. And so, we begin now. And of course, we are in verse 23 of chapter 15. And we see that it's represented by a kaf, which has a value of 20, and a gimel, a value of 3. And the letters are Hey, Sin, because the dot's on that side, Nun, Aleph, Aleph, Tav, Yod, Yod, Sin, Nun, Aleph, Gimel, Mem Sofit, Mem at the end of a word, Aleph, Tav, Aleph, Veit, and Yod. So now we read it. Ha-Saneh, Ha-Saneh, Ha-Saneh. The one who hates. O-T, me, Yisna, he shall hate. Still got the same root word. Gum also, et grammar marker, Avi, meaning my father, with the yod at the end meaning my. And we look down here, and saneh is the kal verb to hate, to loathe, to abhor. And the translation is, the one who hates me shall also hate my father. And so we just read that again. Hasneh, oti, yisna, gam et Avi. And now we turn to 24, which is represented by a kaf and a dalet. And we have the letters Lamed, Vav, Lamed, Aleph, Ayin, Sin, Yod, Tav, Yod, Veit, Tav, Vav, Kaf, Mem Sofit, Aleph, Tav, Hey, Mem, Ayin, Sin, Yod, Mem Sofit, Aleph, Shin, Resh, Lamed, Aleph, Ayin, Sin, and Hey. So we read that now. Lule, Lule. Now if we look down here, I've got Lule here. And it means if not, were it not for, etc. So if not, A-C-T, I did, because we know asa means to do, right? I did, veto come, which means in their midst. Now, of course, the is like there, and tok means in the middle or the midst. All right, so, and of course, the veit at the beginning is in their midst. Et, grammar marker, ha-ma-a-sim. Ma'asim, grammar marker, the deeds. If we look down here, ma'aseh is a masculine noun meaning deed, act, doing, or work. Deeds. It's plural as well, right? Ashir, that, lo, not, asa, has done or did, right? If I had not done the works among them that not had done. And then we read that. Lule, A-C-T, veto kam, et ha-ma'asim, ashir, lo, asa. And then part B, we have an Aleph, a Yod, a Shin, Aleph, Chet, Resh, Lamed, Aleph, Hey, Yod, Hey, Veit, Hey, Mem Sofit, Chet, Tet, Aleph, Vav, Ayin, Tav, Hey, Resh, Aleph, Vav, Vav, Yod, Sin, Nun, Aleph, and Vav. So we read it. Ish, meaning a man. Acher, meaning another. Lo, not, haya, was, vahem, meaning in them, chet, meaning sin, Va'ata, and now, Ra'u, they have seen, or they see, Vayisneu, and they hated. So they have seen and they hated. And the translation, that not had done another man, there would be no sin in them. But now they've seen and hate. Again, we've included sane, which was to hate, to loathe. Now let's read that without any help. Ish acher lo haya vahem chet va'ata ra'u va'yisneu. And we've got part C also, which has a gimel, mem sofit, aleph tav yod, gimel mem sofit, aleph tav, aleph vet yod. So we read it. Gum also. Ot me. Gum also. Et grammar marker avi, my father. So they have hated both me and my father. Of course, I've included gum down here as a conjunction, means also, even, furthermore, in addition, or indeed. Any of those are okay. And we read that, gum ot, gum et avi. Now we're in 25, which is represented with a kaf, value of 20, and a hey, value of 5. And then we have aleph, kaf sofit, lamed, mem, lamed, aleph, tav, dalet, vayet, resh, hey, kaf, tav, vav, vayet, bayet, tav, vav, resh, tav, mem, sofit, sin, nun, aleph, tav, chet, nun, mem, sofit, sin, nun, aleph, vav, nun, yod. And we read it. Ak, which can be translated as but. Le malot, to fulfill. Because we know that malay, down here, malay is the call verb to fill, to fulfill, to complete. So but, to fulfill or to complete. Devar, meaning word, ha katuv, the written. So the written word. Betoratam, in, and the of course is there, Torah. All right, and then we have sinat, meaning hated. Chinam, meaning for nothing. If we look down here, chinam is an adjective meaning no charge, free of charge, or in vain, or for nothing. So for nothing, and then we have saneuni, and we have the u in the middle, meaning they, and sane, meaning hated, and ni at the end, meaning me. But this is to fulfill the word that is written in their law. They have hated me without a cause. And now let's read that. And it is ak le malot devar ha katuv betoratam sinat chinam seneuni. And we have 26 represented with a kaf, value of 20, a vav, value of 6. And we have vav, vayet, vav, and aleph. Hey, samek, nun, gimel, vav, resh, aleph, shin, resh, aleph, shin, lamed, chet, lamed, kaf, mem, safit, mem, aleph, tav, aleph, vayet, yod. And it is uvo. So now we say, and in his coming. Because we know vo means to come, right? And in his coming, Again, it's his because there's no other pronoun there. In his coming, ha sane gor. Ha sane gor. Ha sane gor. The advocate. And of course, I've got it down here. Sanegor is a masculine noun for defense counsel or advocate. And of course, we see it in the Greek as paraclete, as meaning advocate. Asher, whom, eshlach. Now the aleph is I, and we of course have shalach, which means to send, right? I shall send, lakem, to you, and that's a plural you, me'et, meaning from, grammar marker, avi, my father. So the translation, when the advocate comes, whom I shall send to you from my father. And I've just included shalach as being to send, to dispatch, or it can even mean to reach out, like with the hand. So we will read that now. Uvo ha sane gor asher eshlach lakem me'et avi. And then we turn to 26b, where we have a resh, a vav, a chet, hey, aleph, mem, tav, hey, yod, vav, zade, aleph, mem, aleph, tav, aleph, vayet, yod, hey, vav, aleph, yod, ayin, yod, dalet, ayin, lamed, yod. And we read it. Ruach, meaning spirit, the spirit. Ha-emet, of truth, or of the truth. Ha-yotze, the one going out. And that's because with the way it's formed with the hay in front of it, like that. So it's the one going forth or going out. Me'et, meaning from, grammar marker. Avi, my father. Who, he, Ya'id. Ya'id shall testify, because, of course, he'id is a verb to testify, to bear witness. Shall testify alay, about me. The al meaning about, and the yod meaning me. Right? And the translation is the Spirit of truth, who comes forth from my Father, shall witness about me. And now let's read it. Ruach ha-emet ha-yotze me'et avi hu ya'id alay. Right, and now we come to 27, which is a kaf and a zayin, which is 27. And then we have a vav, gimel, mem sofit, aleph, tav, mem sofit, tav, ayin, yod, dalet, vav, kaf, yod, mem, resh, aleph, shin, hey, yod, yod, tav, mem sofit, ayin, mem, dalet, yod. And now let's go. V'gam, and also. Atem, meaning you in the plural. Ta'idu, you shall testify. Because the tav is like future, right? You shall testify. And the vav, of course, is you, or it could mean they, but because he's talking directly to them and he called them you here, we can assume that that's you shall testify. Ki, for, it could be that. Merosh, from the head, which is translated mostly as from the beginning. He ye tem, you have been, because we know that this part means to be. It comes from haya as the root. You have been imadi, and it could be with me, but it also has got imad in it, so it means standing with me. So here we've got im telling me as a prep, that means with together or by. And therefore, with the dalet, it's imad, which, as you can see here, it means to stand, to be situated, to withstand. And that's why I translated it, standing with me. You shall also testify, because you have been with me from the beginning. So we read that now, and it is V'gam atem ta'idu ki merosh heyitem imadi. And we already come to the revision. It's a bit shorter lesson because we got less verses to finish our chapter. So now we come to the revision. All right, so we go through the revision, remembering that the Kaf is 20, Gimel is 3, so we're in 23. Ha-se-ne. Ha-se-ne. It means the one who hates. O-T, me. Yis-na. He shall hate. Gam also, et, grammar marker, Avi, my father. And the translation, the one who hates me, he shall hate also, grammar marker, my father. Then we have Kaf 20, Dalet 4. And it is Lule, which is, if not, A-C-T. I did, to come in their midst at, grammar marker, ha-ma-a-sim, meaning the deeds, the acts, ashir, that, lo not, a-sa, it can be did or has done. And the translation, if not I did in their midst, grammar marker, the deeds, that not has done. And then we have ish, meaning a man, acher, which means another, meaning another man, lo not haya, was, vahem, in them, chet, meaning sin, va'ata, and now, ra'u, they have seen. Va-yis-ne-u, and they hated. So the translation, a man, another, not was in them sin, and now they have seen, and they hated. That means they still hated. And then we move to the next one. And we see that we're in 24c, which is gum, also, ot, me, gum also, et, grammar marker, avi, meaning my father. So they hated also me, also, grammar marker, my father. And then we turn to Kaf, value of 20, and Hey, a value of 5. So we know we're in 25. And it is Ak, which can be translated as but, Le Malot, meaning to fulfill, Devar, meaning the word, Ha Katuv, the written, meaning the written word, Be Toratam, meaning in their Torah, Sinat, which means hated, Chinam, meaning for nothing, Saneuni, they hated me. But to fulfill the written word in their Torah, hated for nothing, they hated me. And we have a Kaf, value of 20, and a Vav, value of 6. We're in verse 26, part A. And it is Uvo, And in his coming, ha-sa-ne-gor, meaning the advocate, asher whom, esh-lach, I shall send, la-kem, to you, me'et, from grammar marker, avi, my father, and the translation. And in his coming, the advocate whom I shall send to you from grammar marker, my father. And then we go again to part B of 26, in other words. And it is ruach, meaning the spirit, ha-emet, of the truth, or of the true, ha-yotzei, the one going forth or going out, me'et, from grammar marker, avi, my father, who he, ya'id, meaning shall testify, alay, about or concerning me. And then the translation, the Spirit of truth, the one going forth from grammar marker, my father, he shall testify about me. And then we have Kaf, value of 20, Zion, value of 7. We're in 27. And it is Vagam, and also Atem, you, and that's a plural you, ta'idu, you shall testify. Ki, that merosh, from the beginning, from the head. He yitem, you have been, imadi, standing with me or with me. And also you, and that's the plural, you shall testify, for from the head, from the beginning, you have been standing with me. And as you can see, from the head, it in Hebrew thought, the head is the beginning. And if we think about it, everything begins in the mind. So if we think that even in Yahweh's mind, creation began in his mind, and then he spoke. So that's how we can understand that it means from the beginning. And then we come to, of course, the valve markings. And I hope that we are getting used to them. Remember what they're called. When the dot's above there, it's called a cholam, and it gives it that O sound. When there's a vertical 2 dots, it's a shava, and it could be silent or it can be vocal, so it has a sound like a short E sound, shit. Or it can just be sh without the E sound. And then we have a segol, which has the E sound again, so it's se. And then we have zere, and as you can hear, zere, the ze is a longer sound. And then we have patak, which is a short A sound, and then we have kamatz, which is a longer A sound, and we have shuruk, which is the U sound, shu, and then we have kubutz, which again is the U sound. Then we have a kataf segol, which combines the syllable with the next sound. And of course we can see it's a segol, so it's an E sound. And then we have chirik, so it's E sound, chi. And then we have kataf patak. Again, it's the shava with the short A sound following it. And then we have kataf kamatz. So we can see we got a break in syllable and followed by a longer A sound, because it's like ah sound, a longer A sound. Very good. And finally, let's just go through the numbering system. We have Nalef, which is 1, Veit 2, Gimel 3, Dalet 4, Hey 5, Vav 6, Zion 7, Chet 8, Tet 9, Yod 10, Kaf 20, Lamed 30, Mem 40, Nun 50, Samek 60, Ayin 70, Fe 80, Zade 90, Kuf 100, Resh 200, Shin 300, and Tav 400. And again, I've repeated our resources. BeitHaMashiach.com. Very useful tool in practicing. Though there may be some slight errors in their pronunciation, but it's very useful in practicing because it gives us color codes and translation and even the Greek. And we also have www.doitinhebrew.com dictionary. Very useful again in checking your root words and meanings of them. Of course, when we're dealing with the Old Testament, the Tanakh, we can use Blue Letter Bible, but here we have to use the dictionary. So I'd like to thank you for joining us for this lesson, and I hope that it's been easy enough to follow and a blessing to you all. So I want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a good week. Thank you.